we have real transitions now. Are we live? Are we audible? How are we doing?
Whoa! Look at
Let's
us
have a
go.
listen.
Live in 4K. What? Who are we?
We're professionals.
Oh man, like the delayed repeat because I'm listening to the stream simultaneously was like, melt my brain. So yeah, stream is back to mute. If I could ask that my lovely players keep an eye on the Twitch chat as well. Would never want to miss anything. But how are we all doing? Welcome to anyone who's watching in the chat to the next episode. Let's dive right in, I guess. Hello and welcome to DC30 and our Mythic Odyssey of Theros, D&D with an ancient Greek twist. I'm your Dungeon Master, Romeo, and I am joined, as ever, by the lovely Rebecca as Bithynia, the Warlock of the Sphinx, Amalia, the Leonin fighter, although she will be on camera a little bit later. And let me just quickly edit that. Yeah, cool. Edit Amalia's camera in. Virla as Hilira, the cleric of Ronos, messenger of the gods. Morse, as your favorite blood magic sorcerer, will be joining us a little bit later. He is just getting out of his LARPing armor. And we have a new person who likes to go by Ali, and some of you may have seen him if you caught the previous episode. If not, you see his name on screen, but we'll introduce him in due course. So, you guys, last we left off, you guys had successfully managed to arrive finally at Tethmos, the capital city of the Leonin, amongst the grasslands of Oreskos. There you met with the Council of the Matriarchs, at the behest of Nazaros Longspeaker, the one who had hired you to escort him safely. You came at a serendipitous moment as a former denmate or pridemate of Amalia's, Rorak Dustcrawler, was pleading with the matriarchs for mercy and leniency against the Dustcrawlers for what they had done. He received no such mercy, however, and was promptly cast aside for the transgressions of the Dustcrawlers. However, noticing this long-lost heir, shall we say, of the matriarch of the Dustcrawler Leonin, can't talk today, Rorak pleaded with you, Amalia, to help save his sister and the remaining warriors of the Dustcrawler clan for Amalia's father, whom it was discovered murdered her mother, faked Amalia's death in order to seize power, had foolishly, errantly led the remaining Dustcrawlers, or what is the Dustcrawler Pride now, the fighters and whatnot, into a treacherous path known simply as the Frost Gauntlet. You have heard of the Frost Gauntlet path. Once upon a time, it was a handy, narrow pass that served as a useful shortcut under the Catachan Mountains into the Nessian Wood. However, it has been out of use since before even Amalia was born. And for a long time, no one who has attempted to utilize it has ever been heard from again. You guys came to the conclusion to aid Rorak for the sake of those who do not necessarily ascribe to what Amalia's father has tried to turn the Dustcrawlers into. And so, after conversing with him, you set out on your journey. And that is where we come to now. It is the morning. And you are marching on with Rorak, leading the path forward. And my computer's frozen. Okay, no, everything's caught up again. Had a mini seizure, but should be all good. Okay, so let me see if I believe I had set up some ambiance for the savannah. Although, did I not get round to it? Nope. Oh well. But yes, that is where we come to now. So, you guys, what would you like to do? So Rorak is leading the way. And you guys are marching basically in single file. Amalia bringing up the rear, and she's being very quiet, very stoic, very just steeled herself, and is being a little distant. But you march on. Would anybody wish to accomplish anything during this time, or do you wish to simply travel in silence?
Can I scoot up next to Scotinos and just go, Scotinos, I had the craziest dream last night. It was about like fighting in a temple. Like there were people there that I knew, and it was so much fun. And like we kicked some butt. That's it. How was your night? How was the dancing with the Goliath man? It wasn't a Goliath.
He could have been mistaken for a Goliath, but he was just a very big Leonin. He was alright, bit drunk, but, you know, he amused himself throwing me up into the air like a rag doll, and I got some free drinks out of it.
Nice.
I do like the Leonin. I wish we got to spend more time with them in the rest of the world. They're a rowdy bunch, but, they mean well.
Yeah, maybe we can come back afterwards and just like party, like do like a party weekend, you know?
Well, if we free their shortcut through the mountains for them, then I imagine they may very well throw us the banquet altogether.
That's very true. Could we get pretty dresses?
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Squidginos, you in a dress would be fabulous. And she just starts walking and describing different dresses.
Squitinos looks a teeny tiny bit worried, but is, you know what? I'm into it. Very well. So other than that, it will take about a day's journey to arrive at Oreskos. If to arrive at where the Frost Gauntlet begins. If no one else wishes to accomplish anything in particular, cool. I will ask somebody to please roll me a d20.
I can. Got this one.
I didn't have a chance to update it since last time, so I may ask you to reroll.
11. It's an 11.
Okay. The day is quiet for the most part. Just listening to the wind breeze through the grasslands.
Like, just in the back, trotting along.
Yeah, more or less.
On summit. I hear nothing. See nothing. Nothing out of the ordinary.
You do eventually spot on the horizon a sort of some hillocks that there's been other hillocks before. These ones seemed a little bit more pronounced than you've seen before.
Huh. And so from the rear, she just yells up, do y'all see that up ahead? The hills seem a little bit different than the mountains we saw before. Anyone care? No? We're good? Okay.
Not entirely sure. What do you mean different?
Yeah, different how?
I don't know. They just don't seem to look like anything that I'm familiar with in Melitis or anything that we've seen along the way. Yeah, just different.
Anyone else see the different? I'm kind of confused.
Do you want to maybe send Couplet ahead to have a look?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So she gives Couplet a go ahead. And so Couplet that
Meow.
flies up. I'm guessing they can fly. They can just fly.
The four wings sort of start to beat in sort of alternating unison and just flies off. And you guys watch as Bithynia sort of just stands there for a moment, holds on to Helira, just steady herself, and then her eyes roll back, and you're suddenly looking through Couplet's eyes. And Couplet floats along for about 300 feet or so, and comes to where the hillocks are. And you notice they're actually closer and smaller than you originally thought. It's sometimes hard to tell with how flat and plain a lot of these grasslands are. But as Couplet circles around, she sees small sort of like dugout holes in the sides of the hillocks.
Like bunkers.
Sort of, yes.
Curious.
You're
Can Couplet go close to any of them?
She can, yes.
To get any closer?
Touches down, or then it gets closer and sort of is like hovering in the air. Peering in through the entrance, Couplet sees remnants of wooden effects, what may have once been some sort of sitting stool, splintered now more than anything else, but bits of cloth and scrap. Should you choose to, as Couplet, walk into the abode, do you?
No, I'm good. I'm gonna have Couplet come back.
Takes off and flies back.
Yeah. So up ahead, and so as Couplet's coming up, so those things up ahead, I don't know what they are, but it seems like some kind of bunker. And I'm assuming everyone's kind of stopped or slowed down at this point. So I sent Couplet ahead, and there's like some kind of bunker, and there's things in there. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be. I didn't see anybody in there, but I didn't want to send Couplet in further. So, would you like me to go ahead and check it out, or do we just want to go on our own and find whatever is over there as we get there?
Rorak sort of comes up and squints.
Do you know what those are up ahead? You're familiar with this area.
Likely an abandoned den.
Abandoned by what?
A pride of my people.
Why would you
Yes?
abandon this area?
Yeah, did you used to live here?
Not me per se. But
So you knew people that lived here.
we migrate with the herds to hunt and the changing of the seasons. Seldom is a den inhabited for an entire year.
So, do they return? Is this like a migration period? I'm just curious. Are we in danger by coming up on it?
Your pet, the fact that it returned at all, suggests we are not.
Well, we can just knock on the door and just kind of see what happens.
You know, I don't think there were doors that I could really see through Couplet, but you're right. We can make ourselves known before we go in.
I can see to it that we approach far more cautiously. Gather around. And he'll cast Pass Without a Trace.
Nice. Okay, let's go. And I start skipping. Within the 30 feet that I have, but I start skipping.
Okay, make
Can
a
I-
stealth check. With disadvantage, but you still get your plus 10. Everybody else make a stealth check.
Why do I
Oh,
always
this is
do
not gonna
this to
go well.
myself?
Good luck.
That's fine. 22.
Incredibly, despite everything, the sheer presence of sort of shadowy quiet that Rorak magically pulls in, sort of like managed to mute even your cheerful hums.
Yes.
Yeah, with a 26 from Rorak. You all, sorry, what did everybody else get? Plus 10?
19.
Cool, 19. Amalia? Remember, you do have disadvantage because of the plate. Oh shit, you can't roll, can you, Amalia? Do you want me to roll?
No, it's fine. I rolled, but it's a sandwich of a 7.
So 7 plus 10, so 17s.
Oh, so 17.
Thank God for pass without a trace. You guys approach silent as the grave, and soon enough you are upon this, and you can see it now. It out of character has similarities to almost like a hobbit burrow, sort of like these, but like several of them across small hills. And as you peer inside, you do see they go down a little bit into the ground, almost like a burrow. But it's the insides are dug earth that's been hard packed in a manner that creates structure and stability. Various different. What couldn't be brought with was simply left to the elements, and you see just rotted wooden furniture that looks to have been sort of makeshift from the beginning. You really get the sense of how sort of rustic and nomadic the Leonin are by nature.
Well, this doesn't seem super interesting, but
It is worth seeing if something of value has been forgotten. You roll an investigation.
okay. All right.
About 10 minutes later, he returns having cobbled together roots and scraps of bundled dried meat that was found in corners of chests that have sort of collapsed in a little bit now, and manages to put together one day's rations worth of supplies.
Oh, so you did find stuff of value. Interesting.
Better than nothing. You should
I
hold on to
agree.
this.
On 2.
We should keep moving.
Okay.
And he'll...
Anyone else have anything?
Is there any like fun hidden stuff
Make an
around?
investigation check.
Okie dokie. 16.
You find a slightly tattered, feathered headdress that sort of has like these plumage that splays across the forehead. Rorik and Amalia affirm it to be just sort of like the Leonin equivalent of like a fancy hat.
Okay. I'll put it back down in like a place for somebody else to find because it's nice. And I already have a hat.
Very true. You guys march onwards, and again, there's very much a solemn mood in the air. Everything that has happened previously sticking with you somewhat, at least in terms of the occurrence at Tethmos. Amalia herself as well is quiet. But the sun begins to set. Rorak finds you guys a very good place to make camp. Secluded area. Unlikely to attract predators. And says, I will return soon. With a hunt. And kind of just slinks away.
Do we want to like put up the hut and then like hide it and then like work on like Rorak is like, what? Where are we? And then we're like, whoa. Bad idea.
Skirtina
Okay.
says, to what end?
I don't know. I thought it would be fun. I'm sorry. I'm I'm gonna go and I'm gonna leave and take a little walk.
Okay. About an hour later, as you guys have set up the dome, I presume, and have built the fire, not Scotty, Rorak returns with a sizable elk, sort of just draped across his back. Slim pickings, but it'll suffice. And he, with deft precision that betrays years of experience, skins it, guts it, prepares it, and within another hour, you guys are feasting on this whole roast elk that he has managed to prop up over the fire. Rorak eats a sizable amount himself, just... Amalia, too, they both really tear into it, and Amalia makes a special effort to sit as far away from the other side of the campfire as Rorak.
Well, thank you for providing us this evening. I appreciate that.
Of course. Kind of just sits there awkwardly. Doesn't come across as someone very good with words. Alright. The evening draws to a close. You guys bed down, bellies full. Rorak agrees to take the first watch.
I'll stay up as well because I don't know if I trust Rorak yet.
I understand.
No tiny hut sorority tonight.
He gestures to he sort of gets up and sits slightly outside the dome in like a logged area, like on like a log that's on the ground where you can get a good view. It's big enough for two to sit on, or you can alight wherever you may choose to.
I'll sit next to him.
He's sort of like still with one like thumbed claw peeling a pomegranate and just sort of gently chewing down on morsels of it.
Great. Great. This is so nice. So, we heard about, wait, were we there about the sister part? I don't remember. I don't know if
you
he
heard
said
about
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, right? Yeah. So, what was your sister like? What is your sister like?
Sort of looks at you a little quizzically, at least just for a moment, perplexed at the personability of you, for lack of a better term. As bullish as ever. Headstrong. Fierce, but impulsive. Prone to poor choices. She followed Baragon, Amalia's father, without question. And now it may get her killed.
But you believed in him up until a day and a half ago? Right?
No. But I did believe in him for a long time.
So why are you judging your sister for doing that while you did the same thing?
Perhaps you are right. Eventually, I came to see Baragon for what he was.
A dick. Sorry.
More or less. A stupid, cruel fool. I had hoped.
Was he always?
I had hoped Grisha would listen to me, but with what authority could I speak?
The one of a brother? I don't know.
That must be nice.
What?
The authority of a brother. She only ever saw me as a fool stuck in the old ways. She embraced the warlike attitudes of Baragon. He pulls from his back these, you've seen him handle them before, these long bones, like javelin-sized bone spikes, seemingly sharpened by hand, or as in like hand-carved, painted the darkest of blacks. I foolishly, in her eyes, cling to these.
They're gorgeous, but I don't know what they symbolize.
The dust crawlers have and always will be known for subterfuge and asymmetrical warfare. We were founded by a legendary tracker and assassin. Time knows how long ago. We have always been that way. That has been our way. We are of the shadow. But other prides, like the Iron Manes and the Blood Fury, saw us as cowardly and dishonorable. Even the more enlightened prides, like the Long Speakers, were indifferent at best. When Baragon came along, he sought to remake us. Into something we're not. He sort of throws the last bit of pomegranate peel he has out into the grassland. Could you fight against your true nature? Even if someone demanded it of you?
Oh, my dear little snowflake. If only you knew. I grew up with brothers as well. So, yeah, I've had to fight for my opinion.
Then you understand. In some ways, I am jealous. I sense you have always had to fight. I was not so lucky. And I was too weak until it was too late. I let myself believe that simply complying would one day see things be okay again. I should have fought long ago. But all I can do is try to make up for that now.
Do you think you could have beaten him back then when you left or whatever?
No.
Well,
But maybe my
why would
death
you?
could have made others think.
I disagree with that statement. I think becoming a martyr is not as important as choosing your battles. But we can agree to disagree.
Choosing your battles. That has always been the Duskcrawler way. Fighting smart, not hard. Maybe there is still a little bit I can learn. He returns to his silent watch, and unless further conversation is made, the watch passes without event. He returns to sleep. You all take your respective watches, and it is a quiet night. You think you hear some animal steps at one point, but they're gone as soon as they come, as quick as they came. And soon enough, the sun rises, and Rorak is up early as well, seeing to it that everyone is up and at him. And so begins the second day of travel. Here it is much shorter. You travel for only about a couple hours before the slight angle that Rorak has led you on as you travel further eastwards this whole time bring you ever so slowly closer to the base of the mountains. Finally finds you right underneath the looming peaks. Rorak comes to a stop. We're here. He gestures to the mountain in front of you guys. Down. Get down. And he sort of drops low.
And Bethania's up high in the back, like,
Lower your head.
okay.
I guess we'll all duck.
Someone is here.
Shouldn't we say hi then?
They may be hostile. I do not recognize the form.
Can I peek my head up to kind of see what
Make a
he's
perception
seeing?
check.
Okie dokie. $24.
You see a large, you squint, because you guys are still far away. You are like, how the hell did Rorak spot that so casually? But you can, with your keen eyes, you just about make out a shape of a large, bald human man with a great big bushy
Would I
beard.
recognize this man?
There's something familiar about him, but it's too far away to be sure.
Ah, darn. I'll start to slowly make my way around to kind of go into flanking position.
Okay.
In case.
Make a stealth check.
Okie dokie.
Rorak speaks to you, Bithynia, and the small one and I will draw his fire, his attack. You rush him if he tries anything. And he sort of
8.
melts away again. 8?
Yeah.
Bacchios. You, for the life of you not being able to know why, were instructed to wait here. That you would know the purpose when it came. It's been 3 days. And you are starting to get a little bored. So it comes as a great delight to you when you hear a, like, very haphazard rustling sound coming from the long grass. Like, very faint little, like, feminine voice cursing and, like, fucking roots and... like, just, like, breathing loudly. And you, like, turn and, like, you can hear exactly where it's coming from. It's about 50 feet down the way from where you are. Just sort of right at the edge of this cliff crag.
Right. Whoever is playing silly buggers in the long grass had better stand up right now. Otherwise I'm going to get really pissed off.
Hilira, you immediately recognize the voice.
I'll pop out of the grass, I can't speak, with my rapier in my hand, because I had that one ready, and just go, what?
Illyria, what the fuck?
And Rorak springs up from next to you, Hilira, and says, "You know this man?"
Yeah! Oh my god! And I go over and I hug him.
I would like to lift her up with one arm, still clutching my axe with my right, and with my left just give her a big bear hug.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been months. Where the hell have you been?
I don't actually know. A lot has happened.
I'm sure.
I actually had a dream about you last night.
Oh, do I want to know the details?
Well, it was about our adventure. It was such a crazy dream, and now you're here.
I know. I mean, you left so suddenly after we cleared out that underground temple. I was like, when am I ever going to see that little bundle of joy again? Ah!
Ow! How have you been? What have you been up to?
Whoa,
Oh, wait.
whoa, whoa,
These
whoa,
are
whoa,
my
whoa.
friends.
Just looks at you, Hilira. Clarification, please.
Well, okay, clarification. He's actually not my friend. Pointing at Rorak. He's just an acquaintance. This
And
is...
so Bithynia comes up,
Not-
and
he
she's like,
looks
a
at
trap
you,
then? Is that a
Hilira
trap?
Says, "Not that I'm disagreeing, but is now really the time?"
You asked for clarification. I did.
He, like, and then just thinks better of it.
Yeah.
Turns to you, Bithynia.
Okay.
Do you recognize this man?
Well, if the cleric has found him, it is certainly a trap. That's what we know.
Right.
That is a confirmation.
Sort of looks at you, Bacchios, at Bithynia's words.
Okay.
Still with Hilaria in my arms, in my left arm, I go into a battle stance with my axe held forward, sort of back, sort of protecting Hilaria from these guys.
Okay.
Bithynia
guys.
rolls her eyes like, Christ.
Hi. The little one really wants to speak right now. Like, this, like, testosterone is really, like, getting to me. Like, let's get it down. Like, get it down.
Vouch for
Push
this
it
man,
down,
Hilira.
okay?
As he holds two
Okay,
of the
like-
spikes.
Okay, can we, like, calm the fuck down, please? Like, okay, I need some estrogen. Like, ladies, can we, like, gather around? I need to, like,
Lowers his
offset
war
this
spikes
testosterone.
and just, with a sleight of hand that could be mistaken for actual magic, they're gone. Like, just they vanish.
Great. Okay, so this is my friend Butch. He's my friend. We went to a temple together and we did some things and it was really fun. And then I left and he left. And is the rest here, Butch?
No, just me for the last. Well, I've not really been on. I've been on my own since I last saw you.
Oh no, Butch, that's so sad. And I like kind of go back into his arms.
Oh, man.
For clarification, as well, yeah, it occurred to me I didn't set this up in any sort of clarification. Whilst Hilira made her own way quite quickly after the event that transpired, Xanthia and Minos stuck around a little longer. Xanthia certainly more than Minos to help make sure everything was on level and nothing came snooping around. And as word got out and some pilgrims started returning to the temple, or people started returning to the temple, Minos made his own way quite quickly, and then after there was some confidence that things were looking on the up, Xanthia made her way as well, saying she had something to attend to, but that she hoped their paths crossed again soon.
Great, awesome.
You do notice as well, Hilira, Bacchus is sporting the same bone-carved great axe as before, but what's different than before is he is wearing a set of heavy furs that are pale and lion-like in one place, sort of red-scaled in another place, fluffy, fleeced in another, with these sort of ram-horned shoulder pad, like a ram skull shoulder pad on one area, and these other like reptilian scales down the other. You squint for a moment and you recognize this sort of shape. It's the sort of the pattern and sort of the texture of the different furs. You've seen them one place before on the chimera you guys slew.
You look nice. So this is my friend Budge. Budge, this is my friend Scortinos and Amalia. And that's actually not my friend. And that's Bithynia. Is that everyone?
So many people, so little time. You have to forgive me. I'm not used to so many people in such a small amount of space.
It's
But
okay.
it's lovely to meet you all. I mean, have you been looking after Hilaria? Has she been safe with you?
I think she has been relatively well taken care of.
And who might you be? I'm assuming you're that little redhead satyr that I'm seeing in the
Correct.
that I'm seeing in the Twitch chat. Yeah.
Yes,
What?
yes, Scotinos. That is me. And as you're looking at him, you notice that he's very pale skinned. Looks like someone that probably has donated blood on one too many an occasion. Various minor cuts all over himself, but particularly over his hands. But still has a fairly chipper smile despite that demeanor.
Stuff?
I think we came across Lyra fairly randomly. I think she ran at us from a hill, and
Sounds
she's
familiar.
been kind of stuck to us ever since. But
That
she's
also
been
sounds
nice. She's been helpful. She didn't like it when we got the unicorn damp, but that's behind us, right? Maybe not.
Good.
Okay, well, there we go.
I mean, that sounds very much like the Hilaria I know. She was a bubbly ball of energy after I initially met her, but she did try to stab me in the first 5 seconds of me meeting her, and I did have to show her that you can't really stab me in the face and get away with it.
Well, that's another interesting way to meet someone, I suppose.
I mean, would you really hold it against a man if he was spooning his axe in a cave and then he got a little bit scared if you were ambushed him in the middle of the night, waking him from a very pleasant dream, I might add? Would you blame that man?
I mean, you're talking to the satyr. It's everything. It's all love and fun with us, right? But not all of us are so merrily inclined. So,
Well, I mean, that's fair enough. And after putting Hilaria down, I sort of stamp my great axe into the damp earth so it sinks into a bit, stands up, and I hold out my hand towards you to shake. My name is Bocchios, but my friends call me Botch.
Botch, I like it. And he takes your hand, and you can see he attempts to try a strong, firm grip, but there's definitely
It's like a wet Kleenex.
some muscle weakness in his hand. Yeah, there's definitely some weakness that might have, but you can feel the attempt, like, he's giving it a good go. But, for some reason, and it's not the case of just simple lack of strength. There's definitely, it almost feels like, maybe it's like there's like just either like a muscle weakness or just some general tiredness in that handshake. But he takes it with as much gusto as you think he can take.
In that case, Botch will calmly raise an eyebrow and slowly squeeze down as hard as Botch can to return the favor.
Scotty,
I'm going to use my unscarred resilience and just burst out laughing. Where for a moment you wonder whether or not you've just heard like a crack or something, like the sound of cracking in knuckles. Let's hope it was just cracking the knuckles there, but the response hasn't been one of pain, but almost like gleeful exhilaration as you do it. But then when you release it, you do notice that a few of the fingers are possibly a little bit out of place.
In response to Hibbs laughing, I would like to use one of my bolstering magical feats, and I would like to confer a slight magical benefit to him in response to him taking it like an absolute boss. So I would like you, sorry, how do you pronounce your name? Scotenius? Scotenius. I'd like you to roll a D3 and you gain a additional spell slot of your choice, depending on what that level is.
Oh, amazing.
Roll a D4, reroll if you get a 4, if that's simpler.
Would you be able to do that for me while I'm driving, buddy?
Absolutely do so.
Yeah.
Rolling now. That's a 4. And that's a 2.
So you gain an additional spell slot at level 2, which will reset upon a long rest.
Yeah, great, good. Yeah, he's good with that.
Not to butt in.
I don't know if he necessarily feels but he definitely, there's definitely the sensation of something of something transferring between the two.
Very recognized in fear, yeah. And Warlock is like, not to interject, but we have business to attend to. He turns to you, Bacchios. Why are you here?
And I respond to him in Leonin, why are you here?
To save my sister and my pride.
What god do you serve?
Humans.
Do I recognize that god?
Humans.
He serves the god. Humans are. Oh, so that was his
human
answer.
scoffing in response.
Oh.
And
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean so. Sorry.
Our people do not follow the gods, as you would well know. And as he mentions that you like, it sort of comes back to you. Leonin are famously averse to the divine. They recognize the existence of the gods, but they don't view them as something to worship. This is a belief that is rooted deeply in their time being subjugated by the Archons long ago. And so many Leonin, as opposed to blessings from the gods, develop blessings from their own conviction of rejecting the gods. These are known as iconoclasts. The very rejection of the gods becomes their power, and they are able to gain powers of dispelling and controlling magic.
Okay. Very, very well there, Leon. Very well, Leonin. But you scoff at gods as much as you like, but it might be due to my particular god that you are going to succeed in finding your sister because she sent me to you.
If it gets me my sister back, I don't care.
What? And I'm switching back to command. I turn to Hilaria and say, so, what are we fighting for? Is there any payment involved? Any wine, perhaps?
I like how this one thinks.
And I like how this little boy thinks right here. I reach out with a fist to bump.
Yeah, he takes it. you notice it, and it's sort of like he actually goes to the close fist bump, but definitely like one of his little fingers is now pointing distinctly away from the rest of the hand as he goes through it.
I don't think we discussed any payment.
Oh.
We were just kind of doing it to be nice, manners.
Fine. So,
Lorak
where
rolls his
are we
eyes.
going?
If whatever blocks the frost gauntlet
It's
has killed as many as is
one of us.
believed,
and we've been through a lot.
he just looks at you, Bacchus, and says, "You get first pick of whatever is on the bodies."
I think that's a very good deal. There will be a lot of bodies when I'm done. Isn't that right, Hilaria?
I'm sorry. Well, okay, yes.
I did or did I not completely smash someone's brain in front of you? It was very pretty, wasn't it?
It was something.
Yes.
But like, who got the final blow at the final battle again?
You.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. But you're still a badass, okay? You
Yeah,
killed
I am.
all the people. You did so good.
That's right. That's right. One day I will kill enough people to maybe buy back my respect. But until then, everyone will be my pleasure. Anyway, where are we going? Because I'm bored as dick sitting here.
Lorak looks to Amalia, and Amalia sort of just gives a nod of, "This is okay," and
Yeah, I kind of like sidle over to Amalia and go, "The two of you are a lot alike." I can see the playful joy that you imbibe when you hack, slash, and unleash your fury in this one.
That's right.
I think the two of you will have a good time.
I can't wait. Maybe. How about? Are you a betting woman, Amalia?
It depends. What are we betting on?
Most kills each fight gives the other person 10 gold.
Most kills.
Yeah, most final blows, as Hilaria is keen to point out, is the only thing that actually matters. Most final blows.
I grab Amalia and I go, "Do not use me as an extra if you're falling behind."
Listen, you never said they had to be enemies, but fine. How about it? Friendly wager.
He does realize I have a giant axe, right?
you do notice that he has an equally sized axe.
And mine glows red.
You do see Amalia's
Well,
is a gigantic solid iron blade, Labris, that's sort of disproportionately large on one side, that has a statuette of a giant, where the axe meets.
I mean, I almost hate to say it, but I like stirring the pots. If you're going to make it really interesting, the one that gets the most kills walks away with the weapon of the loser.
Why would you say no?
Are you not convinced by your? Amalia, I have my faith in you.
I don't know. I've never fought with this guy. If he takes my axe, I will kill you. And you gave him that idea. I'm gonna fucking kill you, Scott.
I mean, that is a very tasty axe. Listen.
No one asked you. Just shh. I'm dealing with him now. Just 1 second. She grabs Scotty, by the way, picks him up, and looks at him and goes, "You are not taking my axe away from me and giving it to someone else." And she just like slugs him at the back of the head and puts him back down.
Amalia, the man who murdered your mother and is going to get my sister killed is getting further and further away from us with every second.
Yeah, we're getting there. He killed my mum, not your mother. I witnessed it. I was 16 and I remember everything in detail. Do not bring this up
He
right now.
may
I'm
very
talking
well
about my
get my
ex.
sister killed.
He's not gonna kill your sister. He needs her, if anything.
It's not it I'm
So
worried
the
about.
wager's off the table then, or all right, I think the 10 goal is good. Let's go with the 10 goal. In fact, you know what? I'm having one. I'll throw an extra 10 to whichever of the two of you does well, and we'll have it at that. That way, at least we know you're going to both be giving it your all, and it keeps this misery guts from getting more misery guts.
Listen, Scotty, if that's Scotty, if you like every single woman I've ever been with will know that I always give it my all, no matter what.
I have no response.
Mr. DM, are there tumbleweed in this world? Can one just like as I say that?
There isn't a tumbleweed here, but Rorak does say you just hear like the crack sound of bone striking rock, and you see just Rorak, who's just walked a distance now, saying, "We're here," and he sort of slides one of the war spike he's holding across the rock, and you hear a tap sound, and you look where he's pointing, and you notice for the first time a impossibly subtle crack in the rock, in like blink and you'll miss it kind of way, in a way similar to the just the optical illusion of it makes it almost impossible to perceive. But you do see a long, and as you peer down, it's a long narrow crevice that is basically a split in the mountain. It's barely 2 feet wide, but you cannot see the other end.
Oh, fuck. Fair enough. Right. Are you leading us down that dark crev of no return, Mr. Rorak?
I will venture forward. He turns to you, Bithynia. Your steed will not fit, and it is 500 yards. 500 feet before the passage becomes wider, though I have not dared venture further than that alone.
So what are you proposing? Or what are you saying?
I am saying nothing. Just the reality of the situation, in the hope that you have some solution.
Can Plummet not like fly above us? Though?
If we're going
altitude?
it might be tough.
The passage beyond leads straight into the ground.
I could get plummets through with a spell and then get plummets out with another casting of the same spell. But will we need plummets in this? If not, it's hard to set them out to graze, but
I can polymorph plummet, or I can dimension door.
yeah, I can turn. Well, I can do my usual. I can do the thing in Mario that I did to Jason in the vase.
Oh, he's
What about invisible? Would invisible work?
It won't be invisible, but then still hit the stone. But we wouldn't see the humiliation of it, I suppose. So that could work on an emotional level.
Although polymorphing plummet into something sounds cute.
What rank of spell is polymorph for you?
4th.
Invisibility is only 2nd level for me.
Yeah, but we still have to get her.
Yeah. What rank of power is my gaseous form?
As in spell level?
Yes, please. Sorry, just because I can't see.
Sure.
I'm
I
thinking
think it's just 2nd, isn't it? Or is
Hey,
it 3rd? It
wow.
might be 3rd. Whoop, no, that's a potion of gaseous form. Gaseous form is third. I'm my mistaken. It is in fact third.
Okay. Just as I know, I've kind of jumped into mid-session, so sorry for my late
Not at
joining.
all.
Have we long rested?
Yes,
What's
yes. You
my
guys have been
spell slots
traveling for
looking
a
like?
couple days. You are fully rested.
I can get plummet through using 2 third-rank spells if we need. It would mean we're 2 spells down, and I'm imagining plummet's not going to be much use to us in there.
No.
It would be better if I mean, I don't know if you're able to speak, like communal speak with plummet or put her. I didn't check the gender of your mum, so apologies. But which what would be preferred? If you think you can trust plummet to look after themselves in the sky, keep high up, so nothing catches them, they could do that.
Bithynia, you would know that a Pegasus can understand Celestial, Common, and Sylvan.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which I am proficient in Celestial and Common. So
yeah, Plummet is Pegasus in general are slightly smarter than your average creature. So could absolutely be relayed specific instructions.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to take plummet through, it's just if we're going underground, flight ability is going to be limited.
Right. I would rather bring plummet with us because we don't know what's ahead. If there's a cavern or something, I don't know. But I feel more comfortable bringing plummet than leaving them behind.
Would you explain to them what I'm about to cast on them so they don't get...
So Bithynia has a conversation. It's like, just chill. You're coming with us. I'm not leaving you behind.
Plummet just nudges you with his forehead in the sort of like, I understand kind of way, and this sort of like does a bit of a tippy tap to steel himself, but then sort of trots up to you, Scotty. Waiting.
Cool. I take out for those that don't, I take out a blade that looks like it's a 2-pronged blade that's almost like 2 serpentine figures that kind of intertwine to 2 sharp points, and I stab the Pegasus in the head, or at least that's how it looks, and the Pegasus just bursts into a pool of blood that just splots onto the ground, and then starts, I assume, oozing through the gap.
Yeah.
In the wall.
Bloody hell.
I hate when you do that. Oh.
Dude, I've been seeing some shit, and that is some fucked up shit right there, my friend.
Yeah, he does that a lot. You'll get used to it. Kind of.
If you're going to do that to me, at least warn me first, please.
That is fair. I believe it only works if you are willing. It is fun. Jason enjoys being in a vase underwater. I think I didn't actually ask. I'm going to assume because I did it twice to them. All right. I guess we can move on then.
Okay, we've got this situated. Bithynia continues to walk.
It will last. I'll keep this spell going. If I break my concentration, Plummet will come back. But who knows? We might be in and out in an hour. In which case, they'll only need the 1 spell slot.
There is about 500 feet of shimmying down this 2-foot wide crevice, and one by one, with Rorak in the lead, you will shimmy along. The larger amongst you guys occasionally scraping your armor or chest as if it applies against the rock. But after about 500 feet of incredible claustrophobia, it opens up with a icy tunnel, large in its width, and it winds downwards beyond what is visible. It is a day's fast travel to the other side. Slower. Perhaps even still. And that is what the old ways say. The old tales say. Stay close. He sort of stops. Who among you cannot see in the dark?
Oh, that would be me.
Me. Sorry.
I can help them if need be.
I can see as well. I can help.
Keep the light burning.
I have a torch if anyone needs a torch.
Me, would you prefer, buddy? Would you prefer the torch? You would prefer my method?
The torch, please. I don't know whether or not you plan on it making my eyes explode and somehow reform into lanterns, or whether or not you plan on just turning me into a kestrel.
Isn't the mystery exciting? Aren't you curious?
Listen, I embody wild magic in all of its forms thanks to my deity, and you scared the shit out of me more than that could possibly have done. I'm going to stick with the torch. Thank you very much.
So we may be more alike than you might realise, and I kind of like reach out in under my clothing, and you see like a small crystalline shard that I'm wielding there as well, and sort of like tap it lovingly, and sort of like give you a appreciative.
Ooh, that's nice. Where did you get that?
I can't remember, you know.
It's very pretty.
It's pretty wild. Yeah, it's been useful and less, but that's the way of the wild, eh?
What kind of light range does this crystal give?
None.
What does it do?
Well, I could activate it, and we can see.
Go on then.
Okay. Who else needed a dark? In fact, I need it on myself. I will subtle cast dark vision on myself, and in doing so, I will activate the wild magic table.
Roll a D100.
I'll let you enjoy that because and you can tell me what I've done.
Hold on. Let me pull it up.
Dude, if I die within the first 10 minutes of a new campaign, I'm going to be really pissed off.
I mean, there is
Don't
one
worry.
on this that does say that I cast a fireball sentinel on myself. So long as we don't get that,
What did you roll?
we're okay.
Oh, right. I have to roll for you, right?
You can't die until I get Plummet back.
I have a diamond. I can bring one person
Okay,
back.
I'm gonna roll manually for this one.
Thank you.
76.
Jesus Christ.
I think I've heard that. I feel like I've had that before.
What have I done?
Oh, this is too good. Who did you cast it on? Who did you cast Dark Vision on?
Me.
Okay. So he finishes, like, he taps his eyes and he watches his pupils dilate, and then boom, his whole body glows like a white hot sun. I need everyone. You are all blinded as you guys stare at this, as your
Oh,
retinas are
great.
cooked
I
like
told
tuna
you.
steak.
Oh, motherfucker!
Get out!
Thanks, Scotty.
Oh, you all.
Why?
And the thing is, like, I fucking knew it was a trap.
Do I need to roll myself? That's the best guy.
What are we rolling?
There's no roll. You are blind.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god! Okay, I will tap myself on the head and cast Lesser Restoration on myself. I'm a fucking
About
genius.
6 seconds later, your eyesight does return. So I'll say that while
Great.
you're freaking out, it does. You guys definitely have like those big red spots in your like sight,
Oh
but
god.
your vision does return after about 6 seconds.
Oh,
Jeez. Okay.
What do you think of a crystal?
you and I are going to have words. Assuming we get out of this, we are going to be having words.
The threat is slightly undercut by the fact that he's looking just like 2 feet to your left, Scotty, instead of actually directly at you.
You cannot kill Scotty. You're not allowed to kill Scotty. Do not kill Scotty. Do not kill Scotty. Do not kill Scotty.
Let's be honest, I'm going to end up killing myself half the time. Right, okay. That manic moment aside, we proceed on.
Okay, so Plummet returns to normal and can't really fly in this space. The tunnel is only about 10 feet high, but does follow behind. And it will, from here on out, be about a day's travel or so. As I got it wrong a second ago, it is 2 days travel to the other side. So, unless anyone wishes to do anything, I'll say that you guys travel in darkness. And with Rorak's help, as he leads you guys on, you get the sense that he several times sort of points out certain different fungi to avoid. At one point, he bids you all hush, hush, and hide down. And then, after a moment, you hear boom, boom, and in this section of wider cavern, you watch as just off in the distance, in this, you having passed through this more open air cavern, you see a hunchbacked humanoid figure, only about 30 feet tall. Dum, 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 just pass. But with Rorak's guidance, you avoid getting lost, avoid any nasty encounters, and after bedding down once more, within the dome, carefully concealed amongst the rocks, you awaken and resume your begin your second day's journey. Early into this second day, you
Can I just get a long rest as part of that?
Yes.
Cool, thanks.
Early into this second day of journey, you begin rapidly traveling upward. Like you feel the tunnel or the ground start to go upwards. And as you travel upwards on this ascendant portion of the path for the first part of the day, what has felt like endless black is suddenly pierced by a light in the distance. You squint, but you can't make out much. It appears to open up. Press on. And about 300 feet later, you look around as you come out of this aperture in the rock, and you see walls of thick ice. And I will get the ambiance ready. Let me just make sure it's not too loud. Okay, you guys let me know if that's, okay, I've got it pretty low, but hopefully that's not too loud. You see walls of thick ice that stretch to the sky. Ahead, a path of frozen river carves a canyon-like path through the ice. You have arrived at the Frost Gauntlet, and it is cold. It is very cold. Very well. We do not know what may be lurking in here. Be on your guard. And he will gently creep forward through this icy canyon. Does anybody else do anything different?
To combat the cold, I popped the last amount of wine in my in the water skin just to try and stave it off. but it's not much wine. But I try.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize. So everybody's wearing winter clothing except Bacchios.
Right.
Let me just pull out everybody. Sorry. So let.
I have a question. Although I do have the winter like thing that the village did give us, would I still be okay, like just with my fur, or would I still be freezing?
You are built for sunlit savanna-like grasslands. The fur you have is beautiful, but not exactly designed for the tundra or the mountains.
Okay, never mind.
I require but a moment. Right, yes, so I need to roll something real quick. Incredibly, though, the weather is warmer than usual. Sorry, 1 second. Nope. And after a sort of initial frigidity, you feel okay. It's still cold, but you don't feel like you're slowly dying. And the wind's pretty died down as well. Jesus, you guys are rolling so well. And what you feared may be heavy snowfall lets up quite quickly as you travel along, and it's sort of just open-aired, cold but survivable frost. You travel forward for maybe a mile or so of this icy canyon, and as you look up, you sort of realize why, even though it's open air, this place seems to be so well secreted. The walls of ice stretch up and up and up, and you gather some of it may also be like sort of mountain and rock, but whatever formed this split is like has made it incredibly narrow, and the sides smooth as marble in some places. Feel very much sort of sloped and boxed in. Alrighty. Let me just check one quick thing. What is everybody's passive perception score?
15.
15. Wait, perception? Yes, 15.
I feel like every time you ask me this, I've never looked at it ever in my life. But it's the same every time. Perception is +3. I don't know. 13 for me.
13 for me.
Okay.
And 11 for me.
Soon enough, you guys come up to a fork in the road. Both paths are much narrower and winding, but they branch out in two separate directions.
So now what?
I don't know. I haven't been this far before. Not by a long shot.
But you're our guide. How do you not know where to go? You're our guide.
There is a reason no one has ever returned from this place.
Are there any tracks in any way that we can see?
Make a survival check.
Okay.
Would you be able to do that one for me? It's probably the last roll I'll need from you, and then I'll be
Sure thing.
set up on the PC.
Could I
That's a
assist?
natural 19. Yeah, you can assist roll with advantage. So that's a 19 and a 4. So let me just double check your survival score. So a natural, so are you proficient in survival? Yeah, so, Jesus. That is a 26.
Nice.
Yeah, you look down and see very slight depressions in the ice. Where sort of the snow is settled over and sort of packed it in a bit. With a 26, they are hoof-shaped. You do spot that.
That there. Can you see?
Rorak
The,
bends down and,
there's
looks at it himself. Yes.
I think that's my tracking is rudimentary at best, but I'm seeing enough of a path that we can lead for a bit of a way. Though if there's anyone that is more proficient than myself, then feel free to take the lead.
Hoof marks. Be on your guard. And they venture to the left.
Bending down, I sort of take a few steps forward down the left-hand side of the path and sort of do that whole stereotypical squatting thing as if I know what I'm talking about. Put my hand on the hoof prints, and I'd like to cast magical awareness to see whether or not there's anything magical or any spells within 60 feet of us.
60 feet. And what is the exact wording? Sorry?
As an action, you can open your awareness to the presence of concentrated magic until the end of your next turn. So technically this is a combat action, but out of combat. You know the location of any spell or magic within 60 feet. So this is a 6-second duration, essentially.
Right.
So any magic item within 60 feet of you that isn't behind total cover.
Let me just measure something real quick. Just so let me just see what 60 feet looks like.
Yeah. You don't sense anything. Okay. Just to try and cover from the fact that I don't sense anything, I sort of scoop up a handful of the snow, put it on my mouth, and swill it around, and like, yes. Spit it out, which the melted snow, which is now pure liquid. Don't think this has been through here recently. So, but yeah, we should definitely be on our guard as the as the right Royal Rorak say so. And I sort of gesture to him as if to say, lead on.
Scotty, this guy is so weird. Hi.
We're all weird here. Let's be honest. Look, we spent the best part of 3 days underwater chasing after an enormous fish.
Good point.
We're weird too. And we continue on.
I lean in and say, Scotty, I am weird. She's exactly right, but she can talk to me. I'm not going to bite. I mean, unless she wants me to.
I knew we had a common affinity, he says with a big, worryingly big smile. Like, oh, okay, all right, you need to rein it in, mate. That kind of smile.
Jesus.
So this way?
So, Rorak. Okay, so Rorak will offer to take point, and will begin walking to the left. Can I get a marching order?
So I like kind of point, like assist as as he kind of goes through and kind of like help with the direction pointing in if need be until my ability to see the tracks fades.
I'll be behind Rorak.
I'm
I'm at the end.
Yeah, I'll be at the end with Bassinia. Just keeping an eye out, just in case anything pops up.
Okay.
I'll just mosey along wherever I fit,
Okay,
really.
so
So I
say that
suppose
again. So
in
it's got
between
Rorak
Hilaria
goes after him.
Me. I'm behind him.
So Rorak, Hilira,
I
Amalia.
think Scotty said he'd be at the front as well to help with the
Okay,
tracking.
so Rorak, Hilira,
Yeah.
Scotty,
Yeah,
Amalia, Bithynia, Bacchios.
Works for me.
Sounds good.
Okay. He slinks along very slowly and subtly. And you guys follow suit. And the icy tunnels are incredibly winding, and as this one in particular starts to narrow, this canyon section starts to narrow, you find yourselves forced into single file. Until eventually you see it part slightly, and this sort of only takes about 30 feet or so. And as you all slide through and round the bend, you all emerge out into a more open glacial cavern. Not terribly large, approximately 30 by 30 feet. Hang on. Yeah, about like sort of 30-foot diameter, rounded section of this glacial canyon. That's not what catches your eye, though. What catches your eye is 6 human sizes and like smaller minotaurs staring down at you with a big smile, flanked by 2 additional 15-foot tall minotaurs with big fat bellies. They're sort of like these big fat brute minotaurs.
Upon seeing this, I would like to... Upon seeing these guys, I'd like to take a couple of steps forward, place my hand on Hilaria's back or shoulder, and apply another bolstering magic effect.
I need everyone
Hilaria.
to roll initiative.
Ah!
Good effort,
Oh,
mate.
I thought just quickly going boop as soon as I see them, but all right.
You guys are also at a slight disadvantage because you're still all squeezing through the narrow opening.
Oh yeah. Ooh
So,
my.
let me get the battle
Okay.
music up, and why don't I activate the battle map, finally?
Yay!
Yay!
Yes.
Yay, we're all gonna die.
Let's switch to the battle cam. And transition. Can everyone see okay? Oh shoot, people are seeing the wrong things.
Do you have the
Okay, anybody
URL
who's-
for our screens?
Oh right, yeah. Well, it should be the same as last time. Do you need it again?
Please, sorry, I need to
Yeah, no
bookmark
trouble.
it.
Also, anyone in the stream who saw like all the stuff on the map that wasn't hidden, please ignore it. Okay, so y'all roll initiative whilst I get that link ready. Invitation link.
Yep, I put mine in.
Internet. So copied. I will pop that into Skype.
I see why you asked me to roll initiative. There's no way I'm doing that.
Yeah, you guys are very much boxed in at this point, unfortunately. Because you passive perception wasn't high enough to spot the lookout who warned them you were coming.
Bugger.
He rolled really well on his stealth check.
As a point of order, had he been using some form of magic, this lookout, would I have sensed him with that 60-foot of
Yep,
range?
nope, he was just a sneaky prick.
Fuck's sake. Fucking rogues, man.
Ah, shit. Fucking- Okay, ambiance. Turning off the ice cave and turning on the battle music. Okay, so, does everybody have
Bum, bum, bum.
initiative?
Yes.
Okay, let's create a new battle. Alright, let me just quickly roll for the baddies. And I'll roll for Rorak real quick. Oh! Oh no! That is a natural 1.
Yikes on bikes.
Oh, Rorak's gonna die.
He's right at the front, for fuck's sake.
Fortunately, he gets a
We-
+7,
our
but
action-
still though.
We lift to the back. It's fine.
Fortunately, he gets a +7. Oof, that is not good. Does he get advantage on initiative at all? No, he does not.
Oh, this is a barbarian.
No. He is not a barbarian. Okay, so 25 to 20.
21.
24.
Oh, yes. Oh, the Acronians leading the way.
Okay, update
Nice.
combatants 24. 20 to 15. Just realized that
A delicious
battle music is a bit
17.
loud, so I'm gonna lower it slightly. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, sorry, 20 to 15? Nobody? Okay,
17.
For what?
20 to 15?
For what?
Initiative.
Initiative.
Oh. I was 18.
18, okay. Nice, guys. 15 to 10. Oh, sorry, 10 to 5. Amalia, what'd you roll?
14.
What?
14.
13?
1 4.
1 4.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that you've ever actually like told me your initiative when I got to your number bracket.
I do when I get high numbers.
Okay.
With my
Otherwise, it
purple
doesn't really
dice.
matter.
Incredibly, Rorak isn't going last, but top of the initiative order is you, Helira.
Okay, I'm stressed. Can I cast a spell? Can I like move Rorak to the side a little bit
so
and
you can
cast
see
a spell?
if you're doing a spell attack, you might have to roll to avoid hitting Rorak just because of the tight quarters, but anything like a saving throw or that kind of spell would not. You can see beyond him. And yeah, you've heard stories of these creatures, but you've never seen this many, like an actual war band of minotaurs staring you down.
Okay, I'd like to point at the big guy.
Yep.
One of them, I don't care which one, and I'd like to cast Banishment.
Okay, is that a charisma saving throw?
That is indeed.
Okay. Oof, this is gonna not go well. That is an 8 total.
He is a banished.
Okay, so he just...
Jesus.
You guys watch as Helira sort of points her fingers and one of the big brutish minotaurs just vanishes. They're like...
And then
And then turn to look at you. They do like this sort of like bull moo sound as they get like sort of ready to charge. Anything else, Helira?
cool. With my bonus action, I'd like to put up my shield and put on a sad face.
And you do. And you watch as a shield that she didn't have previously, Barkios. She raises it, and the painted cycle, like sort of stylized depiction of a cyclops face, almost like a symbol, turns into like the paint moves and it becomes a frown.
That is the best shield I've ever seen.
Okay. Next up, actually didn't begin the combat. It is one of the minotaurs who will stay right where he is. Now, let me pull up his stat block real quick. He will just raise a javelin and just throw it at Rorak. That is a, so he's gonna roll. What is that to hit? Misses. Just misses, actually. So the Minotaur throws the javelin and Rorak catches it. And then just drops the javelin. Like, And I think that's all you can do. Next up is you, Bacchios.
Right, considering I can't physically get there, and I'm behind a big wall of people in between me, I would like to take out my own javelin and blindly hoof it at anything that I can reach.
Okay.
Arc it over the entire group.
Make an attack roll. There are going to be consequences if you roll badly.
Oh crap! Here we go. Let me just get that. No, sorry. I tell you what. I did remove the javelin from my infantry because I realised that I don't use ranged weapons. I'm an idiot. I do apologise. Rookie Mistook, everyone. I'm so sorry. Instead of that, then, what I'm going to do is in Minotaur, I'm going to shout over the entirety of the group and say, come back and fight a real warrior, then, you bunch of pussies. Who cowers in the middle of a cavern? No one, you cunts. In Minotaur. And that's all I can do.
Make a persuasion check.
Actually, I'm gonna. Oh, interesting. Alrighty. Oh god, that's my worst rolled stat. That's a natural 20 for a 21 total.
You know these kind. They respect one thing: strength and strength alone. They kind of just stare you down, and you get the sense that their attention is turned towards you a little bit.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's
And as a final, and I'm gonna be, and do you know what? I'm gonna take one step back to try and give, purely with the anticipation of letting people get behind me, because I know that I'm a big, smelly barbarian that's blocking off the entirety of the thing. So I'm taking a step back let people try and get out if they want to.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Bithynia, it is your turn.
Oh gosh. Okay. So I can only see 4 of them, I believe, from where I'm at.
Where you are correct. You heard more than 4, but that's sort of what your narrow view in this narrow passage allows you to see.
Ah, rats. Okay. Can I? Do we know if they're evil? Are they evil?
So, the Minotaur that are in this part of the mountains at the very least are likely, you would know just innately, from Phoberos, which is the polis of the Minotaur specifically who worship Mogis, the god of slaughter. So, based on their sort of far more savage attire, especially compared to some of the Minotaur you may have, known in Meletis, who rarely come
are a little
close
more
to these
civilized
level of savagery. You get the sense that these guys may not be the chummiest of fellows.
Okay. I would like to. Oh, I have so many fun things. I would like to. Let's summon a greater demon. Sounds legit.
Oh, shit.
Gonna make it even more compact in here.
Which demon do you choose?
Oof. I did not think ahead of that. It's like I have my Fae for my summon Fae, but I don't have a demon for this.
I believe I was able. I managed to get you that list, right, of Theros specific fiends.
We'll do a shadow demon.
Shadow demon, okay. Yeah, I don't have any. 2 seconds while I prep that. Let's just import. Won't take but a moment. I didn't have a token prepared for a shadow demon. That's my bad.
You can use the one for the Fae that I gave you before.
Oh no, it's okay. I mean, I have a token. I just need to sort of do a couple clickety clicks to make sure it's ready. This will just take a moment. Choose file.
making a party.
Oh yeah, definitely, Phobos. Demons of tokens. Shadow demon. There we go, that'll do it. Open, select file, update token. Close. So you... Oh, no, that's just a regular shadow. There we go. Are they medium or large? I don't know.
It's a medium fiend.
Okay, so you guys watch as Bithynia, her eyes glow bright blue and a series of glyphs appear like a crown on her forehead. She does like a sort of Doctor Strange, traces like her fingers in the air, almost like pinching to points in the air, and as she brings them together, you see like this blue line, like a zipper in reality, open right where the Minotaurs are. And a maw to what you perceive to be at the side, a barren grey-black wasteland opens, and pouring through a inky black smoke monster. Similar in some traits to the Eater of Hope that you fought, but far more lithely and cat-like, and made of billowing black smoke.
And with that, I need to roll for initiative for him to see which order he puts in, or for the sake of continuity, I can just put him in after my roll.
I believe the spell does specify that he has his own initiative, so if I could ask you to do so.
Yep. 17.
Okay.
It is
That's
a +1
perfect.
when I roll for mine, but
So he literally will go after you. Okay, anything else in your turn, Bithynia?
Can I Eldritch Blast this big one?
That would be an action, you to do that, and use your action to summon the demon. You do get to give him a command, though. You get...
I would like to move him over here in front. I'd like to put him into closer to the battle.
So what is the wording of your command?
It's in. I don't know what you're saying, but there's incorporeal movement.
So what would
so,
Bithynia say to him if she had, like, one sentence to say to him?
You are to move closer to the largest beast that you see in front of the cleric.
Okay, so it will, on its turn, move over this way. By all means, take your action as normal, how you would controlling him. So go ahead and make your attacks if you want to.
Well, I have. I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry. I have cantrips and I have spells, and that was my spell.
So you've taken your turn to cast a spell.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything you can do on your bonus action, by all means, or if you wanted to try and move, by all means. If not, it's the Shadow Demon's turn next, and you can, after commanding him, control him and make him do his turn.
Yeah. Can I? Can I do an attack?
Can you do an attack as a bonus action?
Well, am I moving as a shadow demon or myself?
Oh, I don't know. You did you end Bithynia's turn?
I did.
Okay, then yes, you can do an attack. Do you have the Shadow Demon stat block up?
Yes.
Perfect.
Do you want it?
Oh no, it's okay. Just, let me know what the Minotaurs need to do in response to this attack.
So I would like to target this one that's directly ahead of Rorak.
Okie dokie. Go ahead and make an
This
attack.
bugbear right here. Now, with my attack roll, do you want me to roll d20 for the Shadow Demon?
So just pull it up. Yeah, so so the Shadow Demon has a claw attack as its main attack. So yeah, that would be a d20.
Correct. Okay. So he's like getting ready to attack. He moves his arms in the air and 12. However, with this situation, as I'm reading it, +5 to hit, one creature, hit 10 or 2d6 plus 3.
Yeah. What'd you roll?
Do you want me to roll the 2d6 plus
Did you
3?
roll the d20 first?
Yeah, I rolled a 12.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. My bad. So a 12. Unfortunately, the demon claws out, and the Minotaur. This is a warrior, and he just just hits this thing square in the chest. And it moves back. The attack is lost, but he sort of reforms and is standing there. It had missed with the attack, unfortunately.
Okay, and that'll end my turn.
Okay, Scotty, it is your turn.
Alrighty then. Can I confirm that I have enough visibility to cast a spell that doesn't need to hit a target, but is an AoE effect?
Depending on the size. Oh yes, you do have enough space to do that.
Yeah, cool. It's literally the wording of this is it's a 1 foot diameter ball of emerald acid that's going to kind of streak up. So I am seeing what's going up. I take out my dagger, stab the sort of like prick the tip of my tongue, and as I do, I almost like hucking out the loogie. I bring out this weird orb of green ichor, which I will then shoot out. I am casting at 5th level Vitrolic Sphere.
What's the radius on that?
It is a 20-foot spear, so I'm going to cast it, I believe, and if I'm going to right at the very end, so I'm casting it.
Radius or diameter?
Let me just confirm. 20-foot diameter, which is that there.
No, that would be
I've got
radius. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, so if it's 20 foot, it means it's 20 foot across.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. We can work with that then.
So the one I created would be the size.
Let me recreate the one you've done then, and I will move my one.
Delete that. So yeah, you go. Watches. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you always watch as he just hogs this massive globule.
Now I know I'm.
So you're gonna hit him. Okay, so you can hit 4 of them from where you are.
See if I can. Oh, is it? Oh, I think this is locked. Is this locked in place? Can I Can I remove the? Adjust it. There you go. Getting one more. There, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, you can hit 6 of them that way. Is that a dex save?
Yep, that's perfect. They all need to make a dexterity saving throw. Dex save is 16.
Okay, we'll start with the big one. That is a 6.
Cool.
Start with the and then the other ones. 17 for the top one.
That one passes.
21 for the second one down, and the 3 in front
Success.
are 8 for the leftmost one.
Fail.
11 for the middle one. And 14 for the rightmost one.
That also fails. Okay, so
the top 2 small minotaurs succeed. Everyone else fails.
Okay, so those that fail take 30 points of acid damage.
Okay.
Take an additional 5d4 acid damage at the end of the next turn. The ones that succeeded take 15.
You say 30, 30.
30, that's correct,
So
yes.
the 3 minotaurs at the front, they just drop into sloppy, red, sizzling goop with almost no trace left of them. Like, he just turns them into soup almost instantaneously with this globule of acid. The big one at the back gets just by this massive burst of acid and is immediately grievously wounded. The other two take 15, you said?
Correct, yes. And they don't take the extra damage at the end of the next turn.
Sorry.
So it'll just be the large Minotaur that takes the 5d4 at the end of its turn.
Okay. And they too look incredibly wounded from this. Like the skin is blistering, boiling. There's an awful smell. Does the acid do anything to objects, does it say?
Let me get the wording of the spell up for you. It has no description.
Okay. Generally, it would
About-
specify if it did.
Yeah, no, nothing other than what's been described, I'm afraid.
Very well. Amalia, it is your turn.
Okay, so is it just the big dude? Like, can I see him?
You can see the big dude, yes. You couldn't really get to him because there's too many other people. in
Yes,
front of
I can't. But can my echo go in front of it?
you. Yes, it can. 30 feet, right?
Okay,
is the range
put
on
it
your echo.
up.
Babe?
Uh-huh.
30 feet is the range on your echo, right? 5, 10, 15. Are you... I asked a question. Were you looking it up, or...?
Yeah, no, it's 30 feet.
Okay, so yes, you can summon an echo in front of the large Minotaur. The big fat one.
Okay, and great ambush attack.
Oh god. So, Bacchios, you watch as Amalia sort of stands up slightly taller, and then a sort of phantom clone of her erupts out of her and drifts, similarly to the Shadow Demon, into position amongst all the Minotaurs. Then you watch as it's holding a copy of Amalia's axe. Like the axe extends until it's 3 times as long and 3 times as large at the haft. This almost Cloudbuster sword style great axe. Amalia, go ahead and take your attacks.
26 for the first one.
That definitely hits. Is that the big Minotaur?
Yeah.
Okay, 20. Go ahead and roll damage, which is 3d12 instead of 1d12.
Well, no, because I rolled a 17 and then it was +9.
Why?
Oh.
No, 3d12
What do you mean
for
why?
damage. 3d12 for damage.
Oh, right, sorry. So the first one is a 13.
13 total? Okay.
And then the next 2 d12s. Oh.
So the 13 is with your modifier on top of it. And then just rolling,
And then +18.
and 18 on top of that as well. You just this is the largest Minotaur you've ever seen, and you just bisect him at the waist, and he just collapses into a heap of sliced limbs. You kill him instantly.
Yay! Bye-bye. Is there any other Minotaur that I can
Yeah,
see?
there's 2 in front of you. You can reach them.
Okay. So the one next to me that's closest to my Leonin friend,
Yeah.
I will slash him too.
Okay, so the one nearest to Rorak.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and take your second attack.
16.
16 just hits.
Okay. And then damage is 17.
Okay. Immediately incredibly wounded.
And then I'm gonna, because he's wounded, can I move
Was that 17
to
total
the other
for
one?
all 3d12?
Okay, no, that was 1d12. Sorry, 1 second. Another 2d12. So that would be 17 plus 14 for damage.
17 plus 14, and okay, so slight revision. This undamaged Minotaur raises his shield. The blade parts the shield like a hot knife through butter, parts him from the shoulder to the hip like a hot knife through butter, and he just collapses, being instantly killed.
Yay! Okay, can I move to the next one? Because I can do 3 rolls, right?
So you'd have to use one of your abilities that gives you an extra attack if you wanted an extra attack.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so which one are you using?
So I'm gonna move to the last Minotaur that I can see.
Yeah, you can see 2 of them in front of you.
And I'm gonna slash. Can I? I can only see 1 on the map.
Did you scroll further up?
I did. It's just 1. Unless. Yeah, it's just.
You might need
guy.
to reload.
You're not looking through your
there's-
Echo's eyes, so you can see from your Echo's point of view. So you're looking from Amalia's POV,
Okay.
not your Echo's. There's 2 in front of you, basically.
Okay, I want to go for this one.
Okay, so go ahead and make your attack roll.
And
Just to
roll a
clarify, are you
quick
using Unleash
enter.
Incarnation or are you using Action Surge?
Oh, what for this?
Yeah.
Unleash
Okay,
Incarnation.
cool. So yeah, go ahead and make your 1 extra attack.
So 26.
26 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. And I just rolled the 3d12s together this time.
Okay,
Welcome
1,
back,
2,
Leo.
3.
How much?
So it'd be 1 minute. 15 plus 5
Yeah, he's dead.
is
You
20.
you cleave the tent he was sort of taking cover behind in half, and he's with the flat end of the blade, you just pancake him against the side of the ice. All right, those are your 3
Bye-bye.
attacks. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Uh-huh. No, that's good.
Okay.
Can I do a little dance in the background, like?
The last one is freaking out substantially. It is Rorak's turn. And he will take a step forward and to the side. And again, with incredible sleight of hand, he just produces 2 war spikes into his hands. And he looks at you, Heliodor, and says, "Bring the big one back." And will hold his action with a smile on his face. Wait, let me just double check the wording of something. End of that turn. Yeah, no, okay, so it doesn't work that way. So he is going to use Dread Ambusher. And he immediately produces 2 war spikes and is going to take 2 attacks. You watch as he basically just flings, like, just almost like producing them out of nowhere. 2 of these black war spikes fly forward towards the Minotaur. Going to take 2 attacks. Or actually, he gets, so yeah, his first attack is a, crap, where is it? First attack misses with a 14, and the Minotaur sort of holds its shield up and blocks it. But Rorak is ready. He throws the second one. Natural 3. And the Minotaur blocks the second one with his shield. Rorak is going to throw a third one, which is... he gets an extra attack when he does Dread Ambusher. Yay! So that is a 21, and that will definitely hit. And as part of that, he will mark the Minotaur as his favored foe. Whoop. Ah, crap. Everything's frozen. 1 second. There we go. Which does an extra d4, so he does a total of... 9 plus... he does a total of 10 piercing damage. And everything's frozen again. Yeah, he does total 10 piercing damage as this one catches the Minotaur who's raised his shield right underneath in the ribs. And then as a bonus action, he'll use dual wielding. Oh, sorry, he'll use 2-weapon fighting to throw another war spike. And with a 17, that hits, and he, again as part of Favored Foe, will deal another 10 points of damage. And the Minotaur, having lowered the shield to crowd him pain, this war spike catches him under the chin with enough force to send him backwards, and he gets nailed to the wall by the head, like from the head, and he dies. And then Rorak will use his movement to take cover behind the tent and just blend into the shadows. That's his turn. Hilira, it is the big Minotaur's turn, which he misses because he is in the ether. He's like, what is this? Hilira, it's your turn.
Do you want me to bring him back, or do we just run?
Rorak rolls his shoulders. He may have information. Or we can kill him.
At least wait until we're all in and around.
Okay, so you guys have 1 minute, so I'll let you say that you can all pour into this cavernous area easy enough.
As Bokios walks in, he just reaches into his pouch and counts out 10 gold pieces and just hands it to Amalia on the way past. So, well played. I mean, that's the only time I think I've ever been in a fight where I only had to use harsh language to win.
Okay, by the end of the minute, the demon does vanish, unless Bithynia has him do something else beforehand.
Nope, there's nothing. Nope.
Okay, so
I'm good.
Well, that vanishes. Your echo does also vanish to Amalia, I believe. Well, how long does the echo last?
The Shadow Demon?
Amalia's echo.
I cannot see where it says it. 1 second.
Okay, we'll say it vanishes for the purposes of brevity. Is everybody happy with their positioning?
It just says until I'm incapacitated.
Okay, fine. Then the echo is still alive.
Or it will last until
The
it's
echo's still alive. So,
destroyed.
is anybody readying anything just before the spell expires?
But yeah, I will hold a blood clench.
Okay.
I will hold a 2nd level guiding
If
bolt.
you hold something, that's going to take your concentration, so,
If I do it at the last second, could that? No? Well, I won't hold anything then.
Okie dokie. Bakios, anything?
At this point, I'm very lax in my security. I've not had to do a fight, which is actually quite nice for the first time in 10 years. Wandering, so I'm just vibing, leaning on my axe.
Amalia? Amalia? Okay, so Rorak will hold 2 more war spikes and ready. And about this time, the Minotaur reappears and turns to face you all. Rorak will take his actions first. Let me just double check again the wording on this real quick. Distracting. Sorry, where is it? Yeah, no, there's nothing more. So he's going to take his first 2 war spike attacks, just Just launch both of them. Oof. Okay, so that is a 11 and a 15. Both hit. And as a bonus action, he'll do his third war spike, just throwing that one as well. That one's a natural 1. Unfortunately, this one glances off the Minotaur's thick skull. But the first two land, and he deals a combined, not bad, 9 plus 8, 17 points of damage. Okay, Amalia, were you holding any kind of attack?
Yeah, I was holding the X.
Okay, go ahead and make one. Go ahead and take two attacks. You're holding the attack action.
Okay, so one of them was a 28.
28 definitely hits.
And let me just roll damage for that one. That's an 11.
11 just hits.
Okay, and then the other one was a 13.
So that's 2 attacks.
I don't think that's...
Unless you want to use another feature, you wouldn't be able to.
She rolled 11 for the damage.
Oh,
for the first
sorry,
one.
I thought that was an 11 to hit. Okay.
No, so it was a 28 and...
11, yeah.
Got it. Continue.
So the next to hit, the second one was a 13.
13 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
And damage for that is 6.
Realize we lost out on battle music. Actually, it's not necessary anymore. Sorry, how much was it, sorry? Damage?
Oh, damage to hit on the second one was a 6.
Total? Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Nonetheless, he takes a serious hit. Between the 3 war spikes just peppering him, and Amalia slashes, he's immediately bloodied. Ah, damn it. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Scotty, go ahead and... Well, you're going to hold something, yeah?
Okay, turn the camera on. Yes, I was indeed.
Oh,
Hello.
hello. Let me go ahead and...
I am... Yes, it was a whole person, or reskinned whole person, so a constitution
blood
saving
clench.
throw.
Okay, go... Alright, con save. Oof.
Yes, please.
Let me just double check what that is for him. That is a 16 total.
That's the DC, so he
Yeah,
just
he's
succeeds.
a big boy, unfortunately, and it's a little too much heft for you to clench as well as you might like.
Alright.
What else was I doing? Sorry, once. All right, I just had to create a quick thing for you. NDI source. Add source. Add source instead. Add source. Done. Sorry, just adding Scotty's camera real quick. Anybody else? Bithynia, were you going to hold any kind of action?
I am... Are we going in order, or...?
I went in a random order because you're sort of like waiting for this Minotaur to come back. So you could... Basically, you're all releasing it at the same time. I'm just going in a random order.
Okay.
So you would have had about a minute to decide what to prepare ahead of this creature coming back.
Let's do Mind Spike.
Alrighty. Go ahead and... Is that a saving throw or is that an attack roll? I can't remember.
It just says damage. Concentration. Action.
The wording should say if it requires a saving throw or anything to that effect.
It says... You reach into the mind of one creature and see it within range. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. Psychic. Yep.
That is not going to end well for this chap. Yeah, no, 8. Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. It's 13, but do I need to modify that?
I don't believe
Or is it
so.
just
I
13?
should just tell you, the
Okay.
spells are generally a straight D
Okay.
number.
13.
13. Okay, no problem. Sorry, everything's slowed down so much. Okay, there we go. I've moved the Scotty cam into the right hole. That can stay there for now. God damn it. Sorry, thing is lagging. Okay, fine. So, like, is like a blue cloud of energy pulses, and he clutches his head as like a blinding headache makes him cry a little bit of blood from his eyes. And you guys turn around and see Bithynia, who's like got two, full on like Charles Xavier style, got 2 fingers to her forehead, and a sort of like eye-shaped glyph in the center of her forehead glowing before she lowers it again. Next up is... alright, so, Bakios, you were chilling, right?
Yeah, I'm yeah, at this point, I'm just not even phased by this thing, because he's just getting absolutely peppered. At this point, I'm more of a spectator.
Okay, I will cast a 3rd level guiding bolt.
It would be a disadvantage because you're in melee range with him.
Oh, okay then. Well, I rolled a 4, so plus 9, that's 13 to hit.
13 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think we've taken any damage this encounter, guys. This is a flawless execution.
27.
How do you want to do this? Oh shoot, I totally forgot to turn off Anita's portrait for that on the live stream. My bad. So yeah, how do you want to do this?
I just kind of want to say, I hope you liked where he went. Bye!
So you see this like big like belly button right around his fat belly, and you just stuff your hand into it and release the spell, and there's like a boom of glowing white light that comes from his belly, and as you remove your hand, there's like smoke coming out of his belly button. You're just like, my stomach hurts, and he just boom, collapses over dead in front of you.
Yay! Yay!
Combat appears to be over.
I'd immediately like to see whether or not they have any wine.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, with pleasure, sir. With pleasure, sir. With pleasure. That will be 18. 18.
You do not find any wine, unfortunately.
While searching for wine, do I come across anything interesting or noteworthy?
Fermented blood.
Lovely. Lovely.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh. 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 Do you mind? Which one looks? Which one of the bloods? Which one of the blood wines are the most recent?
One of them does stick out as being slightly more rich in color and less sort of muted and dark.
I kind of point to that one. And you look over since you discovered the badge. Do you mind?
Be my guest. Be my guest. If I can't drink it, I don't really give a shit.
I'm gonna take the vial. And I uncork it, and I kind of wave my hand over it, and the contents of the blood, almost as if I tipped the bottle over, but it's still kind of pulls out, and forms this weird globule ball. And then I sit down in front of it, I bottle aside, and I will cast blood reading.
Okay, what do you wish to learn?
On this, well, as I'm doing it, I am going to, as I'm casting, I'm going to go, Amalia, some of yours as well, if you don't mind.
Beg your pardon.
I think she's disappeared for the time being. So I'll be doing this for about 10 minutes, so other people can do stuff until Amalia gets back.
Okie dokie. Does anyone wish to do anything else whilst he's ritual casting this?
Can I go over to one of the corpses that has their face intact?
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
It's not a. There is not a certainty here, unfortunately.
11.
One of the big boy that you all just sort of like peppered the shit out of. His face is relatively intact.
Okay, I will kneel by his side, and I will cast Speak with Dead.
Okay.
And I will also, before that, shout out, if you have any questions, I can ask 5.
Just double checking. Does the Speak with Dead spell have any wording on humanoid versus non-humanoid?
You grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions you pose. The corpse must still have a mouth and can't be undead. Blah, blah, blah. 10 days.
Okay, it would say humanoid by that point. Okay, cool. So
yeah, it just says corpse.
bit down and you you touch your head on its forehead. It's kind of like musky and slightly stinky, but you take out your stone speaker crystal, the long shard that you have, and you tap it in the center of this creature's chest, and you hear boom, like a sort of pulse that manifests. And all of a sudden, this sort of like half like stabbed face, like its big bullish form turns to look at you, Hilira.
Okay. First question. What awaits us up ahead?
Pain and death.
Great.
While casting, I'll say it's not ritual casting. It's not ritual casting. It just takes 10 minutes to cast. I'll go over and not fully pitted to go see if they've seen any of the Yonin. I guess.
Yeah,
It's kind of what I'm doing over here as well to see if there's any similarity.
Okay. Which path should we choose that has the least resistance?
Thanks for a moment.
To the left.
He points to your right, actually. He just says,
Right.
he points to the left first and says, nothing that way. And to the right, only way forward. He gestures with his head and then lolls back.
Have you seen the Leonin clan, known as the Dust Crawlers?
Many dead. You get the sense that even this shadow of the corpse knows who you are or recognizes you. And from what you gather, having meditated on this item and the nature of this spell, you know that the sort of echo of the corpse is under no obligation to be truthful to you.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's one more question, right?
I have 5. I have 5, and I've asked
3 so
Okay.
far. 3 so far.
Yeah.
Keeping track.
So does anybody have two more?
Did they have any? Did they have any? Where did they store? Where did they store valuables? Valuables. I guess. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm Korthos. I need some of your blood. I need some of your blood. You carry on. You carry on. I'm gonna maybe that. Maybe that.
Okay. Where did you hide your valuables?
In here. He sort of like looks down. Do you see where the different like tents and things like that are slowly dissolving in the acid? No, I'm kidding. He gestures to this chamber.
Cool. It's in this chamber. So what was your childhood like? I don't know.
That is. I'm
Almost getting Freudian there. If you ask him what his relationship was like with his father, then yeah.
I'm gonna need a therapist. I have to
so
listen
looking forward to death. Looking forward to death.
And he just at this point the creature just and is dead forevermore.
I think he had a good childhood.
Is the other learner? Is the other learner with his name Korthos? Was it Korthos? Was it?
No, Rorak.
Rorak. Too many names. Rorak. Stab yourself in the hand and drip some blood nearby
After
me.
what he's seen, Rorak doesn't refuse. He grabs one of the war spikes, just jabs it into his hand a good centimeter, and just lets it bleed.
For flavor, kind of chemokinesis, kind of like mix it as part of the spell. I cast blood reading. I'm gonna upcast it to third level. I'm gonna put this as well. So this blood must come from a creature that is alive or has been dead for less than an hour. So Bell has no spell. Okay, that's fine. Mixes, drains, and eventually just let the blood spatter. And I look up to him and I go. I wanted to determine whether or not it was any of the clan that was turned into this. But if they were those that have been dead for quite a while.
Alright.
Nevertheless,
pacing around frantically. We need to keep moving. We have to search everywhere. Sort of starts rifling through things, trying to figure out. And he just gets a little erratic, but search everywhere.
I'm going to. We don't need a rogue. It's fine. Try and sneak on ahead to see.
Okay, which way are you going?
What lies. The direction that the entirely trustworthy Dead Minotaur told us to go.
Rorak is going to walk down the other path, and he sort of moves down this way, and then he just comes to a stop.
Do I see Scotinos leave?
Yeah, I don't make marks. I'm not.
Rorak sort of goes down this. He starts down this tunnel where there's this sort of intersection, and then he looks down one of the crosses, and he sort of stands there.
Can I, before Scotinos leaves, touch him and cast Blessing of the Trickster? You have advantage on any dex check, including stealth, for an hour.
Oh no! And he rushes into the room, the ice room.
I stop and I go, hold that thought. What? And I guess we're gonna follow.
And you guys all pour
What's
into
going-
this
where is-
impossibly cramped, tiny, icy room. And you see 6-foot tall icicles jutting out of the frozen lake like stalagmites. And encased in the icicles is something humanoid in shape, but gray. And you guys are following, right?
Yeah.
And as you guys all pour in and sort of try to cram in, you see one. There's a 7th icicle that they're all standing around. And you go up to one of these frozen forms, and you touch one of the exposed section, and you see. I swear it feels like solid stone.
Oh yeah, can we? Probably at the back because I was probably last in there. But are they only vaguely humanoid?
They're humanoid, and as you get closer to them, they are unmistakably Leonin in shape. Six stone Leonin statues surrounding this 7th glacier, the 7th icicle stalagmite in the center.
Are they all touching it?
No, they seem to sort of be in various different poses and states of being of bewilderment and like recoiling.
Can I look around the room to look for anything
Make a
suspicious?
perception or investigation check, your choice.
Okay.
What's the condition of the statues? Are they relatively intact? Are
They
they
seem to be
pretty?
intact.
I rolled a nat 20, baby.
Nat 20.
For 25.
Hilira, you zero in, like as in you squint and just zero in. Let me put the ice cape sounds back. You zero in on that 7th statue. Well, then 7th icicle, sorry. And can't help shake a feeling, but you get closer and you peer through and you see a hint of green and the faintest of yellow glow. So you wipe the fog off of the ice, or the like condensation, and through about a foot's thick ice, you swear you can make out a feminine humanoid head, frozen in its last death gasp, but with pale, pale green skin, impossibly sharp fangs, faintly glowing yellow eyes, and dozens of vipers coiled in similar death cries where her hair should be.
Oh, fuck, it's bad.
It's a Gorgon. You know the stories well enough, you all do. Clearly dead, but encased in ice somehow.
So, are we attached to any of these Leonin? Because, like, I would really like to leave.
Rorak is frantically searching through them, and he sort of stops at one. Krisha, no! And he just unsheathes his claws and begins clawing at the ice.
What? Yeah, they're just gonna go. Don't be ridiculous. If you strike her in her current state, you may do damage that we can't recover. This can be fixed. Fire is not what you need.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm kind of also a bit distracted by the fact there's a Gorgon there. Should I take it at a disadvantage? damage?
You can if you like. I'll let you make that call.
I'm kind of like, yeah, although I know as well, my eyes, I've got something else that's kind of distracting me, I think, so it's only fair. And still, 22.
We have to melt the ice.
Needs to be found.
We have to do something.
Does it look like it's like a magical thing? Or does it just look... I don't know what I'm trying to...
Check, your choice.
I'm trying to figure out if greater restoration would help.
I will light a torch while that's going on, and while being very careful not to go anywhere near the Gorgon itself, I'm going to see whether or not the torch has an effect on the ice.
You hold it to the ice.
16.
You see it starting to melt, but very slowly.
Yeah, okay, that's enough for us to know that it will work eventually. Okay.
I rolled a 16 history check.
So, famously, Gorgons have the power of mystical petrifying gaze. Some people have been known to be brought back from it, as far as you're aware. That's as much as you recall.
Frick.
I don't have any fire.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I have that will help. I don't think I do. She's not going to get any worse in her current state. We can carefully get her out of this.
What would happen if we threw a Molotov cocktail at her?
Rorak just looks at you.
What? It's fire! It will help! We're just trying to make it go faster!
Everything it'll work.
Okay, well, don't be such a Debbie Downer, jeez.
Why don't we just hit her really, really hard? That might smash her into a million
Rorak
pieces.
immediately has two war spikes in his hand. Just like, almost like he conjured them. We're not shattering.
We'll put that on.
But she's a Gorgon, dude.
Don't.
There's like a... You're not sure where how a cricket can survive in this cold, but you hear the cricket.
I'm so sorry. I am so confused right now. I said your sister and Leonie like you.
Orek flicks his hands and the war spikes disappear. I'm trying to maintain a level-headed composure.
Yes?
He turns to you, Scotty. I saw you make corrosion. You have no fire magic.
It all comes from the power of the blood.
You don't have transmute? Just out of character clarifying. Huh, fair enough.
No. I thought the stuff I could do was potent enough to add that into the mix.
We have to get him out, as long as it takes. And he, goes back to the room with the tents and just starts bringing anything he thinks can burn into here.
While that's going on, I'm going to try and catch Amalia's gaze, unless Amalia's looking at something else, and try to sort of like bring her over in increasingly obvious neck gestures.
Amalia kind of butt smacked her, like, you know, the fact that it's his sister, so she kind of, like, walks over to you, but her head is down because she's really sorry that, you know, this has happened.
Not to make things more complicated, but we can focus on getting them out in their current state now, or continue chasing after the rest of the clan.
We need to get to the clan,
Take a
but
moment to look
for now
around you,
we
just
need
as
to
well,
get.
sorry to interrupt. Baragon is not amongst the faces you see.
We could help. Well, he is here. We could leave Rusak here to guard them in their current condition as we press on, if he wishes to. I mean, he can come with us. I don't know if there's anything else that's going to come here in the meantime, but I guess he may not wish to travel. I admit I do have a vested interest in what happens to that, pointing to the Gorgon, but we will deal with that. But I thought it was worth reminding you why we were here.
Sorry, honestly, I don't know right now. Whatever you think is best.
This is your tribe, or was, and you are dealing with the dishonor that came from your tribe.
Do we have
You'll
time
hate
to
me for
get
it.
them?
If we take them out, we can give it a go. We know it's going to get very tight through that narrow passageway. We may struggle to get them out in their current state. It will
Is there
take
any
time.
way, I don't know, we can like teleport them out or like open something and then push them through and
At
then.
this point has
I have
stuck,
nothing to
like,
achieve that.
built a small bundle of sticks and under Krisha specifically, and is attempting to light a fire. And a fire begins going.
Rousseau's going to be here. He's invested in making sure that they are not harmed. I imagine he'll be happy to wait here. But you have to decide, Amalia. I can't make the decision for your clan.
Can Amalia go and sit next to Rorak, like on the floor?
And he's in the middle of just like frantically trying to get the fire going and struggling against the wind.
She places both like her paws on his face.
And he just, in that moment, actually calms down.
I know you're angry, and I completely understand why. But you need to tell me right now what you want to do.
Sorry, 2 seconds. I think I had 2 people turned on the audio wise for some amount of time for that, so I don't know how much of that's gonna be echoey. God damn it. You forget once, I swear to God. Sorry. He... I'm not angry. I'm terrified. Krisha is all I have. These people are all I have. I can't leave them here. But I don't know what to do. He just like holds his head. I don't know if to press on and see this through. I don't know what to do. And he turns to look at you, Helida. What would you do? And you see this lithe panther-like Leonin who you normally associated with some amount of stealth and precision just You swear you almost just see a scared child again.
I wonder if we can get these people out of here, or some of them out alive, if they would help us in our cause.
I can't risk anything else happening to Krisha.
Alright, we're getting them out.
He turns to you, Scotty. In this state, are they safe?
Can I make an attempt on this based on my, the creature that's attacked them is fairly akin to my pantheon?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Cool. Arcana?
Arcana or history, your choice.
They're the same. So let's take a. I don't know. I have heard plenty of stories of those that have fallen to this creature's gaze, and their forms can break. I've seen broken limbs. Statues break. Whether or not it gets worse whether or not they take harm from fire or acid or anything else, I don't know. I do know that time stops a little bit for them, so they won't know what's going on.
I'll
But
say as well,
that's
being
about
a
it.
bookworm, Bithynia specifically, you'd be able to chime in, and you've read certain excerpts of people being brought back magically from the state of petrification. You don't have first-hand accounts of gorgons in particular, but you've read accounts of people petrified by basilisks and from cockatrices, and in both cases it was a state of suspended animation.
So in this situation,
it would be an educated guess to say that this would be similar, but you wouldn't know for certain. But all evidence.
I have a good hunch.
Yeah, a good
I have a good hunch that I've seen something like this back in the university, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. I wish there was more that I could do to help in this situation, but in this circumstance.
Magically.
I can attempt to. I think. I've not done it yet, actually. No, I have attempted it once. I can attempt to dispel the magic. I don't know if that does it or not, or if it is more of a healing magic you need to remove this thing. I'm willing to try. I don't know if
he looks
I'll
at you and
succeed.
says, "You think dispelling may work?"
I'm happy to give it a go. I
I
don't
will
know.
as well. And he sort of stands tall and opens up his hand, and you see a pulsing blue energy coming out of his palm. Ready?
And I'll make it. I'll show that I'll follow his guide, and I'll let him lead the charge, and I'll assist him.
And he will use his
Dispel.
iconoclast feature to cast Dispel Magic once per day without any components or spell slots. You guys do it at the same time?
Yes.
And there's like this sound of like dispelling magical energy. Nothing happens.
Was worth the attempt. Doesn't mean that they are beyond saving. Just means we need specialist healing to remove this.
I think I might be able to do something, but tomorrow. So We'd have to spend the night here.
What level spell slot would you need to be able to do something tomorrow?
5th.
Oh, I can't help with that.
Very well.
Sorry.
Go.
I also have another stupid idea. I could try and polymorph her into like a small thing. We could break the ice, and then when she comes back. But like,
it's made. It's stone.
it's so confusing.
I think the safer option if we were going to do that would be the. What spell was it you were going to use?
Greater Restoration, but I don't have it today. I didn't prep it.
The other thing we could do. I know I've mentioned it to Amalia, but I can say it to everyone. Is if we still want to get everyone else that has fallen behind, we can come back. Actually, the thing is, that's a great idea. I was going to say that one of us, although there's a group, could stay behind to guard them, but actually that is not too bad. Actually, how long does the hut last?
8 hours?
Yeah, I could cast Tiny Hut, and we would have it available for 8 hours.
We might.
Bed down.
Who knows if we're going to take?
In here.
Well, yeah, because nothing could come in or out, and
So
we'd be fine.
I can't do that voice and not sound aggressive, but he was. It was a sincere question as opposed to how it came out of my mouth. Very well. I do not think it wise for any of us to venture in smaller groups. He has got the fire going now, and it's slowly beginning to melt, but as it melts, like a psst, psst, psst.
Once there's many here to be restored, so it will be some time of, and it would be several days of restoring everyone.
The question is,
was there anyone here you recognise?
Press on.
I see. Hold on. I get it. Do you recognise any of these here? Did any of these ones here also possess magic? Who knows? One of these could also cast the restoration miracle.
I can only do one a day.
He looks.
This is my worry, and if we.
No Leonin possesses holy magic. If a restoration is what you need, none would have the capacity.
Jeez.
And in any case, beyond a few arcane tricks, we did not possess that sort of magic amongst ourselves.
Amalia, this is your hunt. If we rest, be aware that puts us at a difficulty to continue following. They may also be resting from time to time. It's as you think is best. But this situation won't be solved overnight or with one night's rest. There would need to be at least one person that stayed to watch over the rest.
I could watch over them.
And with that,
but you would be venturing on your own. I don't claim to be the deciding factor, but you would be one short.
Well, one short, but one up, I suppose. Kind of going over to him and saying, "Sorry, you didn't get to take part in that last one. Normally, it's much more chaotic." So
that's fine. I mean, I'm an old man, dude. I need the rest.
I've got a cushy job, I've got soft feet, and I've had to walk this entire way without my Pegasus. It's been difficult for me.
Amalia, do you want us to press on? Or or do we wait, rest for the night, and then press on with one restored?
We do not know what state they will be in when they are restored. They may very well not be able to fight. And this is not the entire clan, the entire pride.
We need a rest as it is, so we will rest, but she looks over to her friend and tilts his head up and looks him right in the eye and goes, "Are you sure you want to stay with them?"
If you believe our best chance of succeeding is returning for them whilst I would go with you, I will do that.
She places her forehead, like her little,
He does that as well.
Leonin forehead, just like on his
As that's
forehead.
going on, Bithynia, your staff, the terrain, how long does that last?
My what?
The staff that changes terrain, how
The
long
staff
does
of
that last?
Mirage. The hallucinatory terrain.
Yes.
24 hours.
Right. We rest, we all proceed, and this was never a passage, so no one will come wandering through and disturb it.
You have the power
Okay.
to alter the terrain to that degree?
Yes.
Well,
Yes, I
It
do.
will look like it. It will look like it.
Very well. Sorry, Malia, you were saying, as you press your forehead to his?
Oh, I was just gonna calm him down and thank him for everything that he's done for me. Even when he wasn't there, without knowing what happened to me and stuff.
You will make up for it. But I'll never stop trying to.
Even though I wasn't allowed to have friends, you were always my best friend. So thank you.
Always. Very well. Let us make camp. We'll press on. And hope that the rest of the pride may yet live. And,
This blood wine is awful. Do not. Just don't. Just.
so you guys all gather into the,
Oh.
Well, you managed to, I'll say, for the purpose of brevity, between Bakios' strength, you managed to sort of uproot the icicle stalagmites and drag them one by one into the room with the tents, which are functional, but you decide not. You just break all that away because it's kind of stinky and smelly. But you managed to bring them all into the central room, pop open the dome. And with the dome sheltering from the weather above, and enough time, you guys with torches and everything are able to melt away the ice, leaving just the statues.
While everyone takes their long rest, Scotinus isn't going to rest inside the dome. He's going to sit by the icicle of the Gorgon, and he's just going to be sat there just looking up at it and just lost in thought.
Do you
Before
do
he
anything
sleeps,
to the ice, or?
I'm going to leave it as it is.
Okay.
I do not want to disturb it in its current state.
Question.
Yeah?
Would I, from talking to Rorak and talking to Amalia a little bit, but not a lot, know what her father looks like? Amalia's father looks like?
So you've had some descriptive factors. You know that you've heard that he has a scar.
Mm-hmm.
You could actually pose the question to Rorak if you would like.
Sure.
Do you outright ask?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
outright ask. Yeah.
Rorak sort of waves sort of like a mask gesture, and his form shimmers in a spell you all recognize being Disguised Self.
Nice.
And he takes the form of a almost 8 foot tall, muscle-bound, dark brown Leonin with a borderline black mane. Sort of similar to Rorak, but his is more like a dark brown, almost scar-like in sort of his complexion. He has these sort of mottled furs that are covered in talons. One of his eyes is ghostly white, completely like shorn through, like with a split here.
Okay.
He's got hard lines and scars all over his body. And he has a sort of cruel indifference to his stare. He just seems like a very cold, very brutish man.
Are we near Amalia? I hope we kind of left the scene a little bit, so like not get that trauma going again.
Would you have?
Also, his... No, I wouldn't have seen anything. I'm too busy, like, complicating things in my head. However, his eye that hasn't got, like, a splint in it
That
is
is what he looks like.
my green eyes.
Okay.
Oh, he's hot.
And then,
Oh no, not another hot Leonin.
as soon as he does it,
She
Rorak
has
drops the form.
Okay. Okay. I will do something again once everyone's asleep.
Okay. What do? Once you all bed down for the evening, having melted the ice off the statues, you agree to take the first watch, Helida.
Okay, this is so stupid. I'm gonna put my hand lightly on Amalia, on her hand, and I'm gonna cast Scrying on her father.
Okay. Let me just double check the wording. I know there's a saving throw that has to be made.
Yeah, there's some like complications because I've only seen him, not met him. He has a +5 save modifier.
Right. What
But-
saving throw is that?
Because I'm touching Amalia, which is something he made.
Is that what?
Well,
Connection,
it says
possession or
a
garment,
body
body part
part.
lock. You
Or
have his
the
likeness.
He's a sibling of possession. That's a whole demographic thing to get into
So you
there.
have his likeness, but you've only got second hand, so that becomes a +3 to the saving throw.
Okay. But I have his possession. I have his likeness.
So you have his likeness, as in you know what he looks like. That lowers it by 2, otherwise it would be +5. But
Okay.
Possession, Amalia doesn't quite count, unfortunately. Wisdom save, yeah?
Yeah.
23.
Fuck. Okay, yeah, he saves.
Rolled super high. Sorry. So
Darn it!
you you close your eyes. And you hear a familiar voice say, "Let's take a closer look." And you hear a whoosh sound as you feel your mind being transported. However, almost like careening into a wall, you feel yourself repelled, and you only get a glimpse of it, like just a flash, but you feel hatred. Iron hatred that just repels you back, and the spell has no effect.
Ow! Okay. Bad idea. Okay.
It's the thought
Okay.
that counts, though. You turn, and Ronos is just sitting there on the ice next to everybody in the dome.
Yeah, that hurt my head a lot. That was like a lot of anger. Ah, dear. Okay. Hi!
Well, hello. Don't you look splendid today?
Oh, thank you. The blood isn't mine.
I saw. Quite impressive. Simply blinked that brute out of existence. I'm so proud.
Oh, thanks. So how's your day been?
Well, that was a minor skirmish between some horde of bandits and some of the Miletian forces, so I was kept quite busy. It's not
Are they better fighters though? Were the bandits like good fighters? You know, like have they been?
No, they were terrible, so they got massacred. I was following people to the underworld all day.
Every time these bandits, they just don't know how to fight.
You don't become a bandit because you made responsible life choices.
That's very true though.
Yeah. But I've been meaning to talk to you, my dear.
Oh yes.
I have to confess something.
Okay.
I've rather enjoyed giving the impression that our relationship is, flightful and fanciful, but, I sought you out because you're special, Heliada. Do you know why?
Because I have a cool shield.
Well, of course, but aside from that, the fact that you might say something like that in response to such a question. You're special because you are the embodiment of spirit. The idea that despite how different we may be, and he just gestures from Rorak to Bakios to Amalia. And then flicks his hand and you see a picture of sort of like almost like an image memory of Xanthia, as you remember her. That we could all get along if we would just talk to each other. You are the balance of communication. Now come. I have something to show you. Stand.
Okay. I'll follow.
He says, "Take my hand and don't let go." Grabs your hand. And when I say, run. One.
I will cast haste on myself before that happens.
You. That's cute. Not to worry. You'll enjoy this. And then he goes to, and you understand, and you take a step as well, and you feel like a gravitational pull, 1,000-fold strong, pull you forward as you. Before you know, you have, like, the glacier has melted behind you, and you are in the open countryside of Theros, beyond the Cataclysm Mountains. As the two of you are. You run with blinding speed. Forests and mountains and oceans streak by you. Cross over the shore, and you're running on the water. And then the horizon gets further and further and further away, and everything seems to melt around you until you're basically, both of you in pitch blackness, running across towards this light that gets closer and closer and closer. And you look down and you see your form seems to take on a sort of glowing astral shape, and the stars become running around you, and before you know it, you are running through the cosmos. A gale force the likes of which you've never felt blows your hair back as the two of you run beyond the realms of space and time. And you understand for the first time the true meaning of what it is to be the god of speed. The messenger, the god of communication, and you understand for the first time what he means in his words and in his actions and in his interest in you. You see possibilities, endless possibilities, for good or for evil, and especially for the future. All one needs is the courage to try and seek it out, to test every trap, to say everything that pops forth. And you see it, what he sees in you. Above all else, you are an innovator. You are. The courage to try. And as this realization comes forward, you just turn into a light, a bolt of light that passes beyond the ether and just streaks out of existence like a lance 1,000 leagues long. And all of a sudden, you wake up. You're back in the glacier. You look around. You wonder if any of it could have been real. Like, it all felt so real. And you feel different. You're not quite sure how, but you feel different. Like, you swear, you concentrate on the rushing water underneath the ice. And for a moment you just look at it and it slows before it moves again, and yeah.
Fuck. Okay. I'll just quietly whisper, I love you too, and then curl back to sleep.
Alright. As I said, I will put it officially in D&D Beyond, but you have officially been switched from the travel domain, from the trickery domain to the travel domain, which comes with a different set of abilities.
Voice.
And I'll say that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Banging. Wow.
Oh, Leo, that's perfect timing, actually. We, just wrapped up. Thank you so much for sticking through the entire, like, you're a favorite of us. Absolutely. Thanks for the love. You are loved. Thank you so much to anybody who tuned in throughout the whole thing. We'll look forward to seeing you next time. We'll be, one short, I believe, next time, but, we hope to all be back, straight after that. Follow all the socials for, updates in that respect, but, have a good night, and we are DC30.